Hey guys, welcome back. So, finally had a chance to sit down and do some testing on the 8bitdo retro receiver for the PlayStation and PlayStation 2. And so, real fast, let's just look at the box. Pretty simple. It says Windows on it, which I didn't realize, and I'll go over that in just a second. Pretty simple. So, in the box, we get the receiver. Pretty simple. Connects PlayStation. On this side, we have a USB-C and a pairing button. And then it comes with this itty bitty 8bitdo USB-A to USB-C cable. So it's pretty funny. First thing I did was update the firmware. There was a firmware update available. Among some things, it added support for the Neo Geo controller 8bitdo released. And so, real fast, just going to go over the controllers and show you which ones I tried. You would figure that most of the 8bitdos would work, and everything I threw out it basically did, including this little guy, the 8bitdo N30. Everything worked on this guy. Problem is that it doesn't have all the buttons. It does have a left and right trigger, but of course it doesn't have any analog sticks or any left or right 2 triggers. And so this might work on some old PlayStation 1 games that didn't require any buttons. If you by chance want to try syncing to the adapter on this controller, you have to hold select down. This is one of the few 8bitdo controllers. It's old enough it does not have a pair button. So next we have the SN30 Pro. This controller worked flawless, no problem. This is a great option. Has pair button. It's updated with USB-C. So this is one of the better options out there. We also have basically the same SN30, but this is the Xbox version. And this worked no problem. So only difference is, of course, is that your button layout is going to be Xbox. Again, though, you have your pair button, USB-C. And this also worked perfectly. And then, of course, we've got the Pro2 Controller. Again, everything works perfectly. You got the dual analogs. You got even extra buttons. And you got your pair button and USB-C. Another great option if you're looking for strictly like one-to-one, probably with original PlayStation controllers. This probably the preferred choice, just because you got the similar analog stick layout that you do to the PlayStation controllers. And then last of my 8bitdo controllers, I of course tried the Ultimate controller. This of course is the limited edition Famicom version I got a while back. Works great, no problems. Again, you got your USB-C and your pair button on top. So yeah, great choice. It does show compatibility on Switch. For the Pro Controller, I do not have a Switch Pro Controller, but I do have the Wii U Pro Controller, which originally only the Switch Pro Controller was listed on the box, but on the website and in the documentation on the website for the manual, it does show Wii U Pro Controller. Works fine, and it indeed did. Of course, you got a way old school cable. Not remember if that's mini or micro. For USB to charge it. But yeah, pairing this is easy. You got your sync button on the back and to pair, and it paired just fine, played fine. This is actually one of I think possibly the greatest controllers that Nintendo's ever released, or anyone. I love the layout of the Wii U Pro controller. I think it's amazing. And so, to me, this is also a great choice. And because even though the analogs are in the top part, it is a little bit more similar to the PlayStation controller because they are in line with each other, which on Xbox they are not. All right, let's jump over to Xbox. So this is an original Xbox One controller. This worked fine, paired fine. Just holding down the pair button on top worked fine. And again, this is just an Xbox One controller, and it worked great. And then I have this is a limited edition Xbox Series controller as the 20th anniversary Xbox controller, and it's basically the same as an Xbox One controller, but we got that one extra button. Again, we just have the sync button on top. It paired fine. And worked great. So if you wanted to use Xbox, last two generations of controllers work great and perfect. And so, yeah, if that's your preferred method to play games, you should have no problem with those. Lastly, we have PlayStation. I'm going to start with the PS3 controller. I know this is filthy. As some people ask about this, this did not connect. This is the DualShock 3 6-axis for PS3. And I tried connecting it through the wired connection with a USB to USB-C adapter into the adapter port. Thought maybe that would work, but it didn't. It appears that no wired controllers. I tried an Xbox wired controller also, Xbox One wired controller, and it didn't work, no power, so this definitely only a wired adapter, or wireless adapter. Wired controllers do not appear to work, do not get power, nothing, so not an option. Alright, so I got the PS4 controller. This guy actually worked fine. It does have an older connection, as we know, but this probably one of the better options for cheaper controllers you might get if you want an actual PlayStation controller to play on your old, especially if you just want to keep it authentic, for PS1, PS2. This is probably the best cheap option. A lot of people probably have spares of these already, and so you can just toss a spare over onto your PlayStation and leave it over there. So in order to sync on this controller, you got to hold down share and the PlayStation button at the same time for about 3 seconds, and it will start pairing. And then last, we've got PlayStation 5. Same thing. This controller works great. If you want a more expensive controller with the modern, if you're into keeping all of your controllers, like on USB-C for charging purposes or whatnot, this is a great choice. Pretty much the same deal as the PlayStation 4 controller. This is basically your share button, and you're going to hold that down with the PlayStation button for 3 seconds, and it will charge. So that's a great choice. I think total I tested 12 controllers, or 13 if you count the wired ones that didn't work, which I don't have the Xbox wired controller here, but anyway, so for this adapter, you just plug in USB-C and you go to your computer. Now what's cool is I didn't realize at first is that connecting it like this to your computer with the USB-A cable, not only can you update the firmware, but this also lets you use this not only on PlayStation, but on your Windows PC. So if you're wanting to use a Xbox controller or a Wii U controller or a Switch Pro controller or a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 controller on your computer, this will let you do it. So, pretty cool. I didn't realize that when they released it or when I bought it, and then I looked at the box and I'm like, it says Windows on it. So, so it serves dual purposes if you wanted to use it on your Windows PC also, which is pretty rad. I tried it that way, and you know, everything works. All of the rumbles and everything work flawlessly, and I tried all these games. I played some Final Fantasy 12 on my PlayStation 2, and like Rumble and everything works fine and perfect, minus the N30 Nintendo controller, which I couldn't, of course, rotate the camera or anything because there was no second analog stick, let alone a first one. I would say that this is definitely a must-have if you are a PlayStation gamer. Literally, you plug it in and you're paired within a matter of seconds with basically any controller you can throw at it. And they've already updated it to support extra controllers and fixes. And so I expect that here in the future that we will probably get further updates. And if for some reason there's a controller in the future that doesn't work on it, I expect that we will probably see a version 2 of this if that happens. Like maybe if that leaked Xbox controller with the new Xbox Series X that looks like will be coming out in the next year or less are true, which it looks completely true, but Phil Spencer says that tons of things have changed, so we'll see. Anyway, so hopefully this will stay compatible with anything in the future, but if not, I'm sure they'll just release version 2. They've already done that with the regular USB adapter. There's a version 2 of that already available. Anyway, so if you like this or need this and have a PlayStation and also, you know, want an adapter for your Windows PC, this will fit the bill on both. It is not Mac or Linux compatible though, so this is Windows only and PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. Anyway, I think this thing is amazing. I definitely recommend you get one if you want to throw an old controller on your PlayStation. And I don't have a rating system or anything, but I just say this is a must-have. So anyway, that's all I got for you today. And let me know what you think. And if you're interested in this, I have purchased all of these controllers and these adapters. Everything I purchased on my own. I have not been provided any of this for free. So until next time, I will see you in the next video.